Hi everyone, Drizzerey here, and welcome to the next episode of Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. So we had just defeated the shield maze, found out that Windowog is a dirty, rotten, cannibal traitor to the mongrels. And she'd been working for a demon the whole time. And she lied about everything. So another fun fact about Windowog and her writing, because this isn't to bash, by the way, Windowog. This is actually great writing, and as I've said before, she is fantastically written. And that is, she doesn't lie to the character. She lies to you, the player, is what how my husband described it. And I'm just like, you know what? You're absolutely 100% right. And I freaking bought it the first time I played. The first time I played, I bought her lies, and I went with her in the beginning. Broke my heart because I didn't want to disappoint Lann, but you know, that's what happens on your playthroughs and stuff. Everything is different always. I do have the recording of his reaction when you tell him tell that you don't show the light and all that stuff. And yeah, it's actually really neat. I might actually do a comparison side by side for that. And now we gonna be going to the Grey Garrison. I'm actually thinking I might make Ember.
While the survivors wander the dungeons, the battle on the surface rages on. The warriors of Canabris are trying to defend the Wardstone, but their strength is flagging. Their resistance is valiant, yet it will all be in vain if no one rises up to turn the tide.
The surface. Finally, I missed fresh air so much. We're in the basement. It looks like the Grey Garrison. I can hear the sounds of a battle from above. Out of pan and into the fire. Yeah, don't mind me. Just gotta do some looting.
I'm gone.
The half-orc before you, wearing armor adorned with Iomede's golden swords, is clearly exhausted. She obviously hasn't gotten much sleep over the last few days. There's soot on her face and fresh blood on her sword. Her hazel eyes are hard and focused, and her firm voice sounds accustomed to giving orders. She sizes you up, surprised, judging whether you are friend or foe, and opens her mouth to ask you something, but freezes when she spots Nevia.
By the goddess, Nevi, I'd almost lost all hope.
Everything's fine, Beth. I'm here. This here's a new friend. She rounded up those of us who survived the fall and led us up to the surface. Without her, we'd never have made it out. Let me introduce you to my wife, Arabeth Tirabade, head of the Eagle Watch.
Until the army arrives, I'm the temporary warden of Canabris. And you're just in time. As you can see, we're in the middle of a battle. And thank you for getting Nevia out of there.
Where are we?
The Grey Garrison. Until recently, it served as barracks for the Crusaders. But it's now been taken over by cultists.
What is the target of this battle?
When the demons attacked the city, their main target was the Wardstone. I trust I don't have to explain to you what the Wardstone is and how important it is to the Crusaders. We must retake it at any cost. or the fall of Canabris will be the beginning of the end of the Crusades, and with them, the rest of the world. I see that you had a difficult journey to the surface. You need to rest. But there's a lot riding on this battle. I have no right to command you, but I'm asking you to help us.
I have important information about the location of a cultist in.
Very good. Report to me in full when we get back to the Defender's Heart. It's our temporary headquarters. Right now, the most dangerous cultists are here. The ones occupying the Grey Garrison.
We met some mongrels who live beneath Canabris. This is Lann.
Most people in Canabris think that the children of the First Crusaders are simply a legend. Other people say that the day you emerge on the surface heralds the start of the end of the world. I'm not superstitious, but the situation is apocalyptic, all right. Having a living legend on our side can't hurt.
Come on, living legend? A walking folktale, maybe? I just need to make sure I don't turn into a running joke.
What's the situation in the city?
The city's gone. Most of the defenders, including the dragon Terendelev, fell in the first few hours. The civilians either fled or died in the chaos. The place is overrun with cultists and demons.
Don't talk like that. Canabris hasn't fallen. Not while it still has defenders like you and me.
Sweet words don't change the grim truth.
No, she's right. Thank you, Knight. Until we no longer have the strength to hold a weapon, until Iomedae abandons us, we will fight for Canabris.
Tell me about the Wardstone. Why is it so important? You know, because I totally do need you to tell me about the Wardstone.
The Wardstones are a gift of Iomedae. Created personally by her herald, a mighty angel, and a general of the celestial armies. The Wardstones keep the world wound from expanding. They stand along the border of the territory controlled by the demons, creating a barrier to keep them inside. The Canabris obelisk was the first to be placed. It is the key to the whole barrier. We cannot leave it in the hands of those monsters from the abyss.
How did the Wardstone end up in the Grey Garrison?
The demons have long laid siege to Canabris, but this time, their lord Drizzerey appeared in the flesh. He ripped the Wardstone from the ground and hurled it halfway across the city to here. I thought the stone was destroyed, but it seems all is not lost, yet. Drizzerey has gone, but the Wardstone is surrounded by a horde of those creatures. What are they going to do to it? Nothing good, that's for certain.
But how did he do that? He's a demon! The Wardstone should have burned his filthy hide!
It should have. But what happened, happened. We don't know why.
Let's not waste any time. To battle!
That's the spirit. You, take Anavia to the rear. The rest of you with me.
That stupid locust. I'm not prepared for this.
Lord Horgus Worm, forgive me. I did not realize we had civilians among us. My people will escort you somewhere safe. To the extent that anywhere in Canabris can be said to be safe right now.
Sorry, my hands are like freezing, so I'm trying to warm them up. But my little hand warmer died. So I'm trying to situate that.
That's right. Fighting spirit is the one thing that we've got plenty of. Actual fighting power, that's not so great. Fighting know-how, even worse. But fighting spirit, at least we're rich in that.
Can I just say the voice acting in this game is great when we do get it?
For Iomedae! For the Queen! Kill the beast!
All right.
Yet another obstacle.
Oh, I didn't even see that one. Go to sleep. Thought you already did that, but I guess it was the one by you. Ooh.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
I'll cut you wide open.
Into the fray!
You won't survive me.
Yeah. Weak-willed cultists.
The spirits demand your blood.
Aw, she can't get to it.
The light take you!
Endure this!
So I am picking up everything here because at the end of this bit, save's coming. At the end of this bit, it's not going to let me get everything.
I hope you appreciate this.
Hey, I know you, so you're one of these cultists? How's it going, pal? Want to join? Your lot will all be dead soon, but we'll be alive. I can't? Come on, leave those losers. The Crusades are over soon. The demons will rule the whole world. Here goes nothing. All hail Baphomet. Cowardly traitor, I swear on the sword of Iomade, you will answer for your betrayal.
This will be quick.
Alright, there's a Cambion in their midst. Okay, who's ranged? You are.
Make every strike count.
Did not work. Okay. Don't think I can. Oh, I can! Charge! Watcha! Poor Stalin. The AI is not very smart.
You are today's sacrifice!
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
This'll leave him.
No, poor Sela. Man. It was worth a shot.
No glory without risk! I'll just sit here. Don't worry about me.
Go for their hearts!
You won't survive me.
Darn it.
A mere flesh wound. I'll cut you wide open! Huh.
Endure this!
Let's give you a big potion. 'Cause yeah, she ain't doing too good.
Into the fray!
Make every strike count.
Yeah, go Lann. Go Lann. There we go.
The light, take you!
Well, so much for that unit. Why do I have 2 of these? She'll die if I don't fucking give her a thing.
So this is how it feels.
Well then.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
No glory without risk!
We're just gonna go up more. Darn it. Okay. Alrighty. Now let's gather all the good stuff. I am encumbered, but that is okay. I'm just gonna deal.
We do it my way.
Alright, gonna do a bit of finagling. This is yeah, it's just better. You can have that. You can have a better bow. We're just gonna drop all this crap. I'm gonna come back for it later. I just don't want to go to this next fight all encumbered. In fact, let's see. And you. Okay. I think that's as good as I can for prep. Saving. My kitty! Why does my arm hurt so much?
What's this? Do we have guests? Just in time. The place is a bit of a mess, and I haven't even poured the blood into the goblets yet. Why don't you... Oh! What an unexpected surprise! Staunton, My little sweetheart. Long time no see. I've missed you so much. Have you missed me? Admit it. You missed me terribly.
Minago. You again, you wench!
Minago, the one who... Be careful. She's one of the deadliest creatures in the whole demon horde. She was once responsible for a massacre in Canabris. She must be back to finish what she started.
So, as much as I am not that very chaotic, I still love this. Hey, demon woman, what's wrong with your face?
Oh, how rude. You're one to talk, mortal, with a face that even a mother would loathe. Staunton, sweetie. You're not going to let your friends speak to me like that, are you?
That wench? She's the one who led me astray. She's the reason my life has gone to the abyss. She's the reason why Drizzerey fell.
Oh my, like butter wouldn't melt. What I remember is how eagerly you would run to our trysts, how you begged to see me again, how you promised you'd do anything I asked. By your own free will, you said this. And now you claim that Drizzerey fell because of me. No, my dear. That was entirely your own doing.
I'll beat your lying lips into your filthy throat!
Now, Staunton, don't say things like that. Not about these lips, the ones you kissed so sweetly. Staunton, dearest, don't you love me anymore? Remember how good we were together? I was so hoping that we could patch things up.
I'll kill you!
Ah, a test of my abilities.
Hey! Leave me alone. Well, that worked.
The world in crimson. This pain is
No!
excruciating.
She's gonna freaking die before we leave this place. Damn. Oh, it just sucks to be me, I think.
You won't survive me.
Well, that did nothing. Go to sleep. Nope.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
The spirits demand your blood.
Did you kill that? Like, I didn't even see the death animation. You know what? We're just gonna move up here. Because I don't do shit to that.
Endure this!
Woo!
I'm all right. I'll just sit here. Don't worry about me.
Dang it.
You are today's sacrifice.
It's not one thing, it's several more.
Make every strike count.
all my stuff today. Now, the unfortunate thing is, I'm gonna be doing this next fight encumbered. But that's okay. Yeah, I can do this fight encumbered. I could just leave it here, but I want the money. Alright. Let's heal everybody up. And we are just gonna save just before.
I am helpful. Am I
An
not?
holy symbol of Drizzerey, the demon lord who attacked Canabras.
Thanks, Lann.
Drawn in human blood. As soon as you step into the chamber, your vision seems to darken and your knees buckle. You struggle to keep your balance. The air in here is laden with the power coming from the stone. Suddenly, your head is filled with voices, screaming, whispering, cackling, threatening, voices pleading for help, shrieking curses and taunts. You blink and the illusion passes.
Congratulations. You made it all the way here. This is it. Your precious ward stone. But what are you planning to do now, I could kill you where you stand, but wouldn't it be nice if you could die in battle like heroes? No. I want you to die in despair, scrabbling around like rats in the blighted ruins of your city, blind and broken, your flesh scabbed and seeping, and every moment knowing precisely what was done to you.
Sounds terrifying, except that's how we've been living for generations.
There isn't a soul that can resist the temptations of the abyss. Even a stone can be turned. I'm not joking. Your precious ward stone, weakened from the injury inflicted by Drizzerey, has almost succumbed to my charms. Soon the whole barrier around the world wound, the gift of your useless goddess, will be a weapon of the abyss. Just a little more and boom. Every city with one of these eyesores stuck in the middle of it, from Canabras to Nerosian, will turn into smoking craters, and all the mortals into red sludge beneath our hooves. So you have a choice. Especially you, my pet. Kiss me on my dainty hoof, pledge your loyalty to Baphomet, and when the world falls, its ruins shall be yours.
It's like, I should say this, but I already know who Minago is because we just explained it in the last room. What are you doing to the stone?
Well, quite what am I doing to it? Probably the same thing I did to many of your comrades. Sweetly and tenderly persuading it to abandon the mortals and join our side.
Prepare to fight to the death, demon! We won't let that happen.
You feel a sudden rush of wild rage, and with it comes a feeling of monstrous, unbridled, destructive power. It is like the power you felt in the Shield Maze when you were confronting Sabamelik, but now it feels more fully fledged and more conscious. I could succumb to the rage. No! Shut your filthy mouth.
Make me. One of the sweetest spoils of war is gloating over your broken and humiliated enemy. You want to deny me that pleasure?
We will stop you, demon. Attack!
Did we find trouble? No, they did.
That sucks. I can't reach any of these guys. That's okay.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Tashani Savitu.
Oh. Lann, your will failed? Oh no. Well, shit. How far can I get?
Aparane sentes. Aparane sentes.
The light take you!
Nope, that didn't work. I feel like there's more cultists in here than there usually are.
I still got it.
Ow.
That's it. I'm tired of playing around now. You want to know what will happen when I'm done with the Wardstone? Here's a little demonstration.
The demoness whispers a spell and a wave of darkness sweeps through the chamber. Your companions wince in pain, but it is nothing compared to what you feel. Thousands of voices once again burst into your mind, drowning you in their moans, screams, and sobs. Pain rocks through your skull. You won't break us. We will never give up.
We will never give up. We will not break. We will not run.
It would be a shame if you died without ever surrendering. But honestly, I'll be satisfied no matter what way you die.
The roar of voices blends into an unbearable wall of screaming, and your vision goes dark.
Did we step on their toes as well?
Praise Iomade, you woke up. Healing your wounds was easy, but you were unconscious for so long I was starting to worry we'd lost you.
What happened?
We couldn't stand up to the demoness. Her spells were too strong. It's all right. We'll handle it somehow. You blacked out, but Staunton and I managed to get you here to the Defender's Heart. It used to be a tavern, but now it's our headquarters. We're gathering our forces here, and we're preparing to strike back.
I found a cultist dispatched in the dungeons. It seems they are held up in the Tower of Istra.
Demons have been filling Canabras with their spies and infiltrators for a long time. Unfortunately, I don't have enough people to attack the place right now. At least not blindly. I'd be grateful if you snuck in there and scouted out the situation. But just scouting. Don't be a hero.
What's the situation in the city?
Bad, but not hopeless. We're constantly getting news, and new sources of resistance keep springing up in the districts where everyone seemed to be dead. The survivors are gathering here. You should see them. Their faces, their eyes burning with determination. The city is destroyed, but our resistance is not broken. We will keep fighting.
What do you plan to do next?
You heard what the demon said. They're going to desecrate the Wardstone and blow up the whole barrier around the World Wound. That would be an even worse disaster than the World Wound's expansion before the Second Crusade. Not only Canabras, but every city with a Wardstone will be destroyed, including the capital. We can't allow that no matter what. We will retake it, even destroy it if we must. Iomade's gift must not become a weapon of the Abyss.
You already explained the Wardstone, so we're not going to click that one again. Can I help you in any way?
First of all, we need to decide what to do with the stone once we get it. What I'm about to say is classified. A traveler came to the city recently. A blind elf calling himself the Storyteller. He insisted he be allowed to examine the ward stone, and he raised the alarm when his study was finished. Even before the demon attack, he had found some damage or flaw in the stone. Prelate Hulrune dismissed his words as nonsense, borderline blasphemy. But between you and me, the prelate's opinion isn't worth much. I think the Storyteller knew what he was talking about. We could use his advice right now, if only we knew where he was. I remember the Storyteller spent a lot of time talking to Staunton, a dwarf from my unit. You saw him during the demon attack. The elf asked him about the history of the Crusades. Maybe the Storyteller told Staunton something about where we could find him if anything happened. There's another problem. After the attack, the demons began to gather their forces at the Grey Garrison. It'll be even harder to take them with a head-on assault. But I once heard soldiers talking about a secret entrance to the garrison. Trouble is, I have no idea where to look for it. While you explore the city, please keep your eyes open, in case you find something we can use. And one last thing. The Eagle Watch has lost a lot of soldiers recently. Some were killed, but others simply haven't been seen since the attack. In the chaos that is now Canabris, it's next to impossible to confirm anything for sure. One of the missing fighters is Janna Aldori, a new recruit in the Watch. She got along well with Sela, and she often went drinking with her. I honestly thought Sela and Janna had died together. But now Sela's returned with you, and there's no sign of Janna. If you learn anything of her whereabouts when you're out in the city, please report back.
Everything is clear.
May the goddess help you. We're still fighting, which means that Canabris still hasn't fallen. If you come across any groups in the city that can fight, send them here to the Defender's Heart. We'll need every fighter we can muster for the final assault. Yes, one more thing. If you're in the area, check out this address. It's our house. Mine and Inevia's. Well, it was our house. If the building is still standing, open the hidden compartment in the kitchen. It's filled with supplies for a rainy day. You can take whatever you find. You have more need of it.
Thank you. So, the end of this episode is going to be basically a lot of reading of other characters, but there is one last thing. I will get to it in a sec. Hey, wait. Mind if I bend your ear about something? Nevia is outside your door, leaning casually against a shelf. So, here's the first and most important thing. Beth gave you a crucial mission. I get that. And I know you'll get the job done. I saw you in action. But here's the rub. By sending you out on an errand, we're weakening our defenses here. If they come at us while you're gone, I don't know if we'll be able to fight them off. Everything seems clear so far. What else do you wish to discuss? So the rift that damned beetle left with its scythe, yeah, well, it cut the city into two, and it's kind of difficult to get across. My scouts tell me there's a halfway decent place to set up a crossing in the market square. Not that any of them tried it to make sure, but if you got a mind to go across, and I think you're gonna have to eventually, you might want to give the square a once-over. Do you want me to stay here and guard the tavern? You what? No! Your task is far too important. You can't just hole up here all cozy like, waiting for the demons to knock on the door. We need to take the fight to them. But if those freaks try to make a move on this place, Beth will send a runner to get you. If that happens, you leg it back here, alright? Because if you don't, you'll be coming back to an ash pile. Got it? When do you think the demon... Words! They're hard sometimes. When do you think the demons will attack next? Your guess is as good as mine. It might not be here. They could attack the whole damn city. Those vermin know they've lost the upper hand, and we're going to push back hard. If things kick off here, you should know, after they attack, some things could be changed beyond recognition. So if you've got any business that needs taken care of, you better do it soon. Thank you for the warning. See you later. Later. Watch yourself out there. Alright. But yeah, I want to do something
Follow if you dare.
first. And we're just gonna save, because I know a lot of people are going to enjoy this next part. Surrender thy soul, Delvin. Iomade, protect us. Got you again. How many times is that today? Take your jokes and shove them, tiefling. Whoa, easy there, Chief. Don't hit me. Go ahead. Don't take too long, though.
I'm off.
Hey, Chief! Ooh, hey, gorgeous. Come over here. I want to talk to you about something. Something really important.
Quit bothering the decent people in here, Wolgiff, or I'll knock your teeth out!
What's it to you, Delvin Dum-Dum? You were told to guard me, and I'm not stopping you. But no one told me I had to shut my trap.
Who are you?
Wolgiff. Wolgiff Jeffdo. I deal in useful things. I can get you whatever you want. Anything. But there's just one problem.
Tiefling rattles his chains and gives you a meaningful look. What do you want from me?
I'll lay it out for you. Simple job, 30 minutes tops. We go someplace, talk to someone, and in return, whatever you want, I'll get it for you. Some extra rations? No problem. Armor, weapons, scrolls, you name it. It's as good as yours. If you need my help with something, whistle and I'll be there. I'm handy enough with knives too, and even my magic know-how isn't too shabby.
What a load of guff! If you were good at magic, you wouldn't be stuck in here now, would you?
Don't you listen to him, Chief. He'd find fault with the Queen herself. I'll be useful to have in battle, and I'll sell whatever you want at a reasonable price. It's your lucky day. You won't meet another gem like me in Canabras.
Why are you in chains?
Does it really matter? Don't get hung up on the past, Chief. Don't look to the future. Live in the here and now.
He was caught thieving.
I can't help you while you're chained up here. How can I free you?
That's easy. You know Irabeth? Feisty looking gal, always wears armor. You can't miss her. She's the meanest fighter in the whole city. When you see her, put in a good word for me, will ya? Tell her there's this guy, Wolgiff, locked up for no good reason in the Defender's Heart. Well, for the follies of his youth. And he really wants to get out on bail so he can keep up his good behavior and make a contribution to society. You got that? Will you do it?
All right, I'll talk to Irabeth about your situation.
I knew I could count on you. Knew it the moment I laid eyes on you.
Your shadow. What was that?
Get me out of here and I'll tell you. And don't worry, it's not contagious.
We'll talk later.
I do what I must.
Wolgiff is definitely a really good character. I just wish he wasn't a arcane scoundrel or whatever. Beth rubs her red and tired eyes. Any success? How is the city? There's a tiefling chained up in the Defender's Heart. What can you tell me about him? Irabeth shrugs scornfully. Wolgiff is a petty thief from a gang of thieflings operating in Canabras. That's what we call them in these parts. They tried to rob a vendor of magical items recently. Unfortunately, we apprehended only one of them, and the rest managed to escape. We have nowhere else to keep him apart from the Defender's Heart, but that's hardly a prison. Wolgiff knows it too. He's been begging us for days to let him go free or have someone vouch for him. He's already asked you to put in a good word for him, hasn't he? Erebus squints at you thoughtfully, then shrugs. If you want to recruit Wolgiff and put him to good use, go ahead and take him off our guard's hands. We can ill afford to let a soldier spend their days watching over a middling thief. I hope that the tiefling proves useful, should you decide to take him along. I have to go. Go. May Iomade keep you safe. Go get my new companion.
Well, Chief, what do you got for me?
I talked to Irabeth and I've decided to make you part of my troop. We'll see how it goes.
You must be a smooth talker. Come on, Delvin. Get these bracelets of yours off me. I'm going free.
You're sure to regret this. This tiefling will fleece you for everything you've got. Mark my words.
You're a bitter little man, Delvin. Petty and mean. You can't even be happy for me, can you? I pity you. I'll leave you alone with your sad little soul. So long. And now, Chief, straight down to business. You see, I'm one of those guys that people around here call thieflings. We just call ourselves the family. After we knocked over that shop and I got stuck here in the Defender's Heart, a little bird told me that Big Sister Charisme wanted to see me. That she had some questions to ask me. You following? Now, she won't be asking me questions like, Woljif, how'd you manage to get out of this one? Or, Woljif, you're so thin, didn't they feed you? No, something serious has gone down, and I just know they want to try to pin something on me. I can feel it in my tail. So, I knew right away that I couldn't go alone. You turned up just in time, Chief. You don't need to do anything when we get there. Just stand behind me and look mean, and I'll handle the rest. Somehow. Let's go, I'll show you the way.
Yeah, there wasn't anything in here. Okay, I think that goes up.
I'm gone.
Maybe I'm wrong. Once again, I need to consult my book of knowledge. Okay, that's down, and that's up. So yeah, that should be it. I was right, yay! And what is this? I swear this looks like it's a door here or something, but as far as I know, there's nothing else there. And that just leads outside. Alright, now time for lots and lots of reading. I'm gonna wait till I end the episode before I sell stuff. And since we just got Woljif, we'll go ahead and talk to him first. Woljif gives you a friendly wave. Hey, Chief, wanna talk? I want to know more about you. How much is more? Are your family tieflings too? My family... It's an interesting story, actually, but I don't tell it to just anyone. My father and mother had a bakery. Their life was great, but the good gods never blessed them with any children. One day, my mother went to the river to wash some clothes and saw a basket floating downstream. Inside the basket was a baby, adorable and chubby and fast asleep. It was yours truly. In my hand was a note spritzed with expensive perfume that said, "Take care of my little angel." My mother brought me home, and she and my father realized right away that I was heaven sent. They raised me as their own. Then I turned 15. My mother showed me my baby blanket. It was embroidered with the coat of arms of an unknown kingdom, all in gold thread. Ever since then, I've been looking for my real parents, but it's not easy. Traveling takes money, so if you have a few gold coins, I'll pay you back as soon as I find my real family. I'll give you my word. That doesn't sound very believable. Seriously? Usually everyone just believes everything I say. People love stories like that. You know, a cute baby, a basket, a blanket. What's not to love? They look at me differently, as if I'm worth more than just because the sheets I spit up on might have had a fancy coat of arms on them. Woljif laughs bitterly. If I was really a prince, I wouldn't be sitting around here, I can tell you that much. I'd have as any... Bleh. I'd have already gone to take what was rightfully mine, and then I'd come back with an army so I could watch the guards and merchants who pushed me around all my life bow and scrape before me. But that's not gonna happen. Want to hear the real story? The true story is boring. My family is human, both my father and my mother. They used to live in a village nearby. Forgot the name. When my ma had me, my old man got so mad he almost killed her, pinned her to the wall, and started asking questions like why his son had horns and a tail. Well, my ma told him that her mother, my grandma, used to fool around with a demon. When he heard this, Daddy Dears got drunk, trashed the house, and then took off. I don't remember any of this, of course. My grandma told me. I was about 3 years old when my mother brought me to Canabris and left me with my grandma. She said to her, "You and your demon have ruined my life. Now you handle him." Then she left. I haven't seen her or Dad since. She did leave a blanket, though. That part was true, but my grandma burned it because it was infested with lice. It wasn't even good enough to use as a rag. You think after all that my grandma saw the light, felt rightfully ashamed, and kissed my horns? I wish. Woljif grins nastily, his yellow eyes flashing. People used to give her trouble for fooling around with a demon. She wasn't welcome anywhere, so she got angry. Normal kids get bedtime stories, see, but the only tales I got told were how my dad was worthless, my ma was a slut, and I was demon spawn that no one cared about. She only kept me so I could help her around the house and steal things she needed, so that's the truth. How did you become a tiefling? Woljif grins happily. I already was a tiefling, and life made me a thief. I've been in this business since I was a kid. My grandma used to say, if you don't work, you don't eat. And she gave me as an apprentice to Yigger, a tiefling neighbor of ours. He was a cunning old geezer. He knew how to take a purse off somebody's belt, how to cut open bags undetected, even do some magic. I used to climb through basement windows and open doors from the inside while I was still small enough. And when I grew and stopped fitting through the windows, I decided I was done with my education. I repaid my grandma for everything she'd done for me, which was absolutely nothing. Why would I feed her if she wasn't bringing me any money? If you don't work, you don't eat. So I took off. I got bored of my teacher too, but when I as much as hinted at leaving, he said I owed him for my education. So I just nodded, and then I joined the Owlbears, the gang that ran our district, and told them that Jaeger was working their territory. I don't know what happened to him, but I stayed with the Owlbears. Then their leaders started giving me the cold shoulder. He did steal from him, but never that much. So I had to rat them out to the guards. Then I joined the Golden Hands, and that was a good time. Rich pickings. Would have stayed with the Golden Hands, but the Northmen promised me a bigger cut if I told them where the Golden Hands kept their loot. I'm no fool, of course, so I told them. After that, I only have one option, to join the Northmen. And then the family came. At first, no one took them seriously, called them thieflings and all that, but I felt it right away. They had power behind them, and they had more money. I'm always on the winner's side, Chief. That's why I joined the Thieflings. And right on time, some thugs came from the capital and made the Northmen leave. The only ones who survived are the family now, too. Tell me about the Thieflings. Alright, I won't tell you everything, mind, but I can tell you a little. The Thieflings are Mendevian thieves. The gang was started in Mendev's capital by someone or other, and soon after they spread all over Galarian. They're also called the Family. You know why? Because us Thieflings are easy to spot. Tieflings, sorry. I'm probably going to get that mixed up a few times. Because us Tieflings are easy to spot. Wherever we go, guards always hassle us asking, "Are you lost or something, Hornhead?" We usually say we're visiting family, and if they say, "Oh yeah, who?" you give them the name of the local tiefling who confirms everything, even if he's never seen you before in his life. That's why we're all brothers and sisters. There are rules. Who does what, who gets what cut. I won't say it's a lot, but they make it worth your while. They'll even heal you if you take an arrow, but the biggest no-no is this: you don't steal from the family. If you don't contribute to the shared pot, you'll get the cold shoulder. you won't be treated like family no more. And then everyone will hear that you went to visit some relatives who have a farm someplace. My best guess? The farm is in some underground well beneath Canabras, where they breed grave worms. If Sister Charisme, our boss, looked the other way more often, I'd really be able to spread my wings. And so, here's the thing. Woljif is definitely always out for numero uno. That is definitely a main point of his character. He's still a great character, in my opinion. I really enjoy him. I think he's funny. He's got a great voice actor. He's got a great design. I just don't like his class at all. Because even just starting out, you get to him at level 4. And he does not have the skill points required to become an arcane trickster, which is what Eldritch Scoundrel is supposed to be. Or wants to be, sorry. Eldritch Scoundrel wants to be an arcane trickster. Which is a prestige class. And if he just had his skill points distributed a little bit differently, he'd be able to qualify to do it. Problem is, by the time you put the points where they're supposed to go, you can't do it anymore because you've already leveled. That being said, if you have a mod called Toy Box, you're able to redistribute anything you want and change him however you want. But at base game, he's kind of locked out of it. But yeah, I like Woljif. So I'm not going to, tell him, you shouldn't steal. That's bad. I'm just going to go with, I want to ask about something else. Go ahead, Chief. What do you think of Canabras? It used to be such a hole. Then the Crusaders and refugees came here, and things started looking up. Excuse me. Although it depends who you ask, I suppose. Witches better steer clear of here because Iomede's followers are ferocious, especially Holron Shapuk. The local inquisitor, he's a tough old goat. I didn't see it myself, but a serving girl at the tavern told me that her second cousin's son from his third wife is a paladin, and he said that Holron takes an unsheathed sword with him, even to the privy. And when he sleeps, he puts it on the pillow next to him. And when he's in his cups, he strokes the blade and whispers sweetly to it, "You are my one true friend. You are the only one I can rely on." Erebeth's given us a hard time, too. You as much as look at some nice little bauble, and before you can think of taking it, before your fingers even twitch, she's coming for you. With her nostrils flaring and her fangs glinting. Scary woman. But even she's better than Sister Charisme. Our boss here in Canabras, by our, I mean the Thieflings, boss, if you get caught by Erebeth, it's all out in the open. You go to prison, or you end up as a worm food. But if you step on Charisme's toes, poof, you're gone. Just like that. No one ever sees you again. All you'll hear is, "You went to the family farm," even though he's never had a family or a farm. You have demon blood in you. Do you feel drawn to the abyss? Woljif's tail whips back and forth nervously, raising cloud of dust. Why are you an inquisitor or something? What's it to you? If I wronged you somehow, just come out and say it. Don't ask me trick questions. I know how it happens. I used to know a fella, he was married to the sister of a guard. Some shady types got him drunk one night and started asking him suspicious questions about the gods, about the queen. So he wakes up hungover with a headache. Someone's mumbling something. It smells like smoke and his feet are kind of hot. He looks down and there's a fire under him and the prelate is reading out his sentence. Your shadow looks strange. What kind of magic is that? Ladies and gentlemen, roll up, roll up. No dark magic, no fraud, and trick without deception. Woljif snaps his fingers and blue flames engulf him. The shadow that was previously lying calmly at his feet grows, floating in the air behind him. It is the shadow of the huge horned winged demon with claws. Ta-da! I do like that it scares everybody out of the kitchen. If it doesn't do anything, it just looks... why I'm having such a hard time reading Woljif's lines. It doesn't do anything, it just looks scary. I remember when I was little, an old beggar showed me and my friends how to make shadow puppets. You put your fingers together in front of a light and it makes the shadow of a deer or a dog or a dove on the wall. I tried so hard, I wanted to make the best shadow. And I did. It just happened, Woljif chuckles sadly. Funnily enough, that's the last time I had any real friends. They tried to stone me later, screaming at me, calling me a demon. A tiefling is always a demon to these wimps. Even the lowest ranking drunken gnome thinks he's better than me, just because he hasn't got horns or a tail. The poorest beggar in the filthiest gutter thinks he's better than me. Most people would never show their shadow again after that first time, but I don't care. If stones start flying again, I'll just run. I'm used to it by now. Looks formidable, I like it. But they don't understand. Looks formidable. I like it. Woljif chuckles, pleased. What about the blue fire? That's my favorite part, and it doesn't burn at all. If I had a coin for every time I caught a beating for my little show there, I'd already be proposing to Galfrey. But still, I don't want to give up something so beautiful. Enough, I want to ask about something else. Go ahead, Chief. I don't really have anything else to ask him, apparently. With all of your companions now, you have the option to make them go. And I'm gonna refrain from that as much as I kind of want to. I have to go. Let's talk later. Woljif shrugs. Whatever, you're free to do as you please. Oh, you. Give me money. Here, take this. Yes, it's 2,000 coins. Take your payment and remember that Horgus Worm always keeps his word. You helped me get back to the surface and I duly paid you for escorting me. Now, speaking of our future cooperation, Horgus looks at you with unvarnished disapproval, his arms folded across his chest, his foot tapping impatiently. I have a job that would be perfect for someone like you. Naturally, I'll pay generously for your services. What do you mean, a job for someone like me? For an adventurer ready to sell their soul for booze and then lie down drunk in the gutter? Or do you think you're somehow different? A traveling knight, perhaps noble of heart, but without a coin to your name. Horgus sizes you up critically, then sighs and shrugs. You seem a reliable enough ally to me, and you did get me out of those mongrel caves, so why should I care what you do with my money once you've got it? Ooh, Horgus seems like one of those people who think the entire world owes them something. However, you hear notes of hysteria beneath his smug arrogance. It's as though he's really quite nervous about taking great pains to conceal it. Noble birth doesn't give you the right to behave badly. I would ask you to refrain from such statements in the future. Horgus puts his hands on his hips. Oh, really? How impudent! No one dares tell Horgus Worm how to address the rabble. So what does the job involve? You shall be my bodyguard. You see, I have good reason to return to my mansion here in Canabras. I still have. Well, it doesn't matter. It's none of your business. My mansion is a breathtaking building with a large garden in a wealthy part of the city. Even before the demons attacked, every thief and fraudster in the city had tried to get inside one way or another. I shudder to imagine the state it's in now. I have little hope that my guards were able to hold the mansion during the attack, and I expect that the servants fled when they saw demons. Only Abadar knows what's happened there since. Therefore, I would ask that you meet me at my mansion and guard me there until I complete my business. I already asked the local paladins for help, but they have no desire to set foot outside this tavern. Damned cowards and traitors. That's what they are! So please do take Camellia with you. I trust that girl more than the rest of your gang. She is of noble birth, after all. What kind of reward are we talking about? 1,000 gold coins. I don't think I'm getting that. Double the reward, and I'll think about it. Yeah, I didn't think so. Ha! Yeah, right. For that kind of money, I could hire Queen Gal for yourself a guard me. 1,000 is my final offer. Fine. Marvelous. Most excellent. His face relaxes, smoothing a few of the tense lines. I'll proceed to my mansion at once and wait for you there. Meanwhile, you needn't worry. I know the city like the back of my hand. But do hurry unless you want me to lower your reward. I got this, which probably wouldn't have helped me, to be perfectly honest. But whatevs. You also learn magic. Woot. Because, yeah, I don't have any I can learn. Alright. I will level them eventually. I just kind of want to do some talkie-talkie. Especially here. This is important talkie-talkie. Very important. Lann greets you with a nod. Here for a chat? I've been waiting for you to come and see what strange beast you've taken into your party. I'd like to know more about you. Let me guess. Your first question is, can you wear a hat with one horn? Am I right? You speak common much better than the rest of your tribe. Funnily enough, common isn't all that common underground, Lann says. But your observation is correct. I used to live on the surface with my parents for a while, and had a chance to learn a couple of things. The language, and the fact that every peasant who sees my scaly mug screams, "Demon!" and runs away. I don't know if you're interested, but my mom wasn't from an underground tribe. She was a smuggler. The kind that used the dungeons of Canabras to secretly move and store goods. One time, two gangs couldn't agree on how to share a prime cut, got into a fight, and the winners threw the losers down a hole, dead and living alike. My dad went to check if the corpses had anything useful on them, and he found a girl from the surface, barely clinging to life. An incredible feeling sparked between them, or maybe the girl just liked men with scales and a cat nose. That might be it. One way or another, he got her back on her feet, and he later even left his home caves. She left her smuggling behind, and they began an honest life together. That's the delightful story of how old Lann came into the world. The next chapter, however, my family and I never stayed in one place for long. We lived somewhere on the We lived sometimes on the surface, sometimes underground. We couldn't find a place to call home. Living in the caves was hard on my mom, and my dad's appearance raised too many questions in Mendiv. They're at war against the demons, after all. In the end, my parents decided to stop making each other miserable and separated. My father and I returned to our tribe. I think the peasant screaming demon had something to do with it, or maybe Dad just couldn't stand life without rat tail soup. I wouldn't rule out the possibility. Did you come with me so you could see the surface again? No, that wasn't it. I just don't have much patience for certain types of creatures. Demons, I mean. If they want to destroy Canabras, I'll be on the side of the people they're attacking. Lann looks away. And I'm gonna go with this. Lann, you're my companion, and companions should trust each other. Counting on you to give me an honest answer, not excuses. Lann looks ashamed. I guess you're right. I shouldn't have been so evasive. It's just that some things are hard to talk about. My family, for example. My birth, hell take me, turned out to be a great misfortune for my parents, all because I'm relatively healthy. I'm the best thing that can come from a marriage between a cave-dwelling mongrel and anyone from the surface. A healthy child with the right number of hands and feet, no apparent defects, no missing organs or other problems. They saw hope in me, so risked having more children. They thought it would somehow be all right. A growl edges into Lann's voice. I could have had 4 brothers. The first was born 2 years after me, and died 3 years later. He didn't have a nose, nothing even remotely resembling one. He could only breathe through his mouth. Mom and Dad were afraid to take their eyes off him, for fear he'd choke and suffocate on something. But in the end, it was his weak heart that killed him. Then there was another pregnancy, and birth. I pretended I was sleeping, but snuck out of my bedroom and listened under the door. All those hours, it was very strange, but I never heard the newborn screaming. Mom moaning, yes, the priest praying. Then I dared to open the door a little and look inside. The priest stood there, very pale. One of them was holding something, a small object that fit in his palm. He asked, "Do you know what this is?" And the other said, "I think it's a head." Lann stops. Enough. You don't have to keep going if it hurts you. Hell no. I started to tell you and I'll make it to the end. You want to know why I followed you to the surface? Well, here's the reason. Lann pauses and exhales and continues in a steadier voice. It turned out that this time Mom was expecting triplets. The first of the babies was born in pieces, and the 2 others didn't live long enough to draw their first breath. About 3 weeks later, my father took me to the caves. He didn't want to leave. I could see it in his face, but I think my mom and he decided it together. The curse my people have carried since the first crusade stood between them, not to mention the 4 dead babies. An old age which was rapidly taking its toll on my father. After we returned to the cave, he only lived another 4 years. So if you're asking me why I decided to go up with you to the surface and join the Crusaders, well, the answer is I've always wanted to. I was afraid to leave my tribe, but it was always haunted me that I'd die in a world where 4 Crusaders could do nothing to stop the beast from the abyss. Crusades, sorry. 4 Crusades could do nothing to stop the beast from the abyss, and the number of victims kept growing. I want to change that, or at least try to. And if changing things is too much to ask, then at least get a little revenge. The ones who are behind the world wound owe me a great debt. The lives of 4 brothers, all my mother's tears, my father's broken heart. It's a lot. It's so much that killing a couple of demons won't do it for me. I want to do something real, and am ready to pay any price. Call it my personal crusade if you like. Lann gives you a slanted grin. I used to think that things would be better if I'd never been born, but now I think I was born for this, to settle the score. Why didn't you go up and join the Crusades before? I couldn't just abandon my tribe. I'm their best hunter. They'll have it much harder without me. But now that the demons have nearly destroyed Canabras and the caves almost collapsed on our heads, sitting and waiting it out just wasn't an option anymore. Anyway, I'm more useful up here than I am down there. Plus, the chief let me go, which means my debt to the tribe has been paid. Would you like to find your mother? No. The word flies from Lann's mouth faster than an arrow, then after a pause he continues. I don't want to meet her. Not because I feel any resentment. It's just that she's a half-elf. She's barely got her first gray hair, and I'll be a ramshackle old man. She's buried enough children. There's no need to make her witness the death of another one. I hope you understand. And I'm gonna start his romance, because this is how you start it. Your parents' love didn't survive hardship, but that doesn't mean the same thing will happen to you. What if you find true love? Someone who won't leave you no matter what. And break my beloved's heart when I die in their arms 5 years later? That's a fine thing to do to the person you love. Then again, there's a chance I'll inspire some tragic bard to write a tearful ballad. And I'm sorry, that's not the right one. I am very sorry, truly. Lann smiles, this time sadly. Well, then I'm very lucky. I met someone who not only helped me choose the right path, but is happy to listen to my whining. Thanks for sharing, Lann. Thanks for listening. Mongrels have short lifespans, but you don't look like you're getting old or dying. How old are you? Lann chuckles. I'm as old as I look. No surprises there. But remember Saul? He's 10 years older than me. I remember him back when he was a fearless warrior, and day by day I watched him turn into an old man. Him and my father. It happens very quickly. First you miss a shot because you don't see the target as clearly as you used to. You think it's because your eyes are tired. You tell yourself it'll get better tomorrow. Then you notice you're having trouble breathing. That climbing is harder than before. Lann clenches and unclenches his human fist. Your fingers stop bending. You have to tie your sword to your hand. You can't even put on your greaves without help. When you're washing your face in the stream, sometimes you catch sight of a gray-haired, wrinkled old man you don't recognize. And this goes on until one day you come across a cave beast and you realize you can't outrun it. Lann takes a breath. My dad kept diaries, marking all the signs, and I saw it too. The last year I had to help him get out of bed, help him dress, remind him to eat. Sometimes he forgot my name. I told him that we should have stayed on the surface, and he joked that dodging a goddess was behavior unworthy of a crusader. He meant Pharasma. Every morning I wake up and check how I feel, but there are no signs yet. Even so, I know I don't have much time. I need to do something useful before I forget why I came here. I want to talk about Windowog. Are you sure? Lann sighs. All right. Tell me about your connection to Windowog. My connection to Windowog. I mean, where do I start? Lann turns the unexpressive reptile half of his face to you. We grew up together, trained together. She was the chief's daughter. She was groomed to be the best all her life, and then I come along. We were rivals, but we dragged each other out of tight spots too. I've always been drawn to grand, heroic gestures, sometimes idiotic ones, whereas Windu liked to roam unexplored passages, finding new caves and making maps. She wanted to be a great huntress, the one who'd make it through the shield maze, but instead she... Lann shakes his head. It's better if she died. The death of a friend is painful, but watching your friend become a shadow of her former self is unbearable. She doesn't think she's a shadow of her former self. Of course, she thinks she did everything right, because the second she starts to doubt herself, she'll have to face the truth, to admit that she's just a cannibal that demons use as they wish. Lann's frown looks almost like a wince. She wants to get stronger and stronger, but for what? I'll never understand what drives her. Were you friends, or were you more than that? Wow, you really don't pull your punches, do you? Lann exhales loudly. There was a time when I asked myself the same question. Windowog knew me better than anyone. She understood me better than anyone. She was my first woman, but we never loved each other. Maybe I could have grown to love her, but it always seemed like she never understood what love was. Maybe she just wasn't capable of those kind of feelings. I think this is the one. Yeah, this is the one that starts the romance chain. Too bad you and Windowog didn't work out, but there are plenty of other women around who might like you. Me, for example. Huh. Lann laughs and by coincidence turns the unexpressive scaly side of his face towards you. Don't joke like that. I almost believed you. A humble guy like me, a beautiful woman could have me wrapped around her little finger without even trying. Thanks. I found out everything I need to know. If you ever want to reopen any more of my old wounds, you know where to find me. So, can you wear a hat with your one horn? I sure can, but certain designs don't suit me too well. Lann speaks in a deadly serious voice. Tell me about your people. Of course, what would you like to know? What's it like living in the caves? Oh, Lann gives you a broad smile. His smile is strange, as if it falters where his human features meet his animal ones. Imagine that in the entire world there are only a few hundred like you, that there's not an inch of fertile ground anywhere, nowhere to grow a grain for bread or cotton and linen for cloth. Your neighbors are beasts who want to eat you, or parasites who want to infect you with their larvae and then eat you. And it's not that bad, because you can try to eat most of the things that are trying to eat you. Sometimes at the risk of getting poisoned, sometimes with almost no risk at all. In the worst years, there's not a single living thing anywhere to be found, predator or prey. Excuse me. That's when you eat mushroom soup. I'd say 3 times a day, but there was barely enough for once every 3 days. Lann shrugs. But life underground has its upsides, pun intended. There's no risk of losing the roof over your head. There's no bad weather, not counting the earthquakes, of course. Are you really descendants of the first Crusaders? More like demon spawn, aren't we? Sad but true. Without the demons, there would be no mongrels. It's the magic of the world wound that affected our ancestors and made their children the way they are. Like most in our tribe, Chief Saul fancies himself a descendant of the underground Crusaders, the ones our heroic ancestors left to guard the caves. I don't know if it's true or not. That angel came to our caves for a reason. Maybe he remembered us. Those were evil and dangerous times after the First Crusade. Hundreds of Crusaders began having children, and the babies were born with fangs and horns and warts and that covered half their face. People didn't like the new look. The Inquisitors sure didn't. So our ancestors fled persecution and made a home for themselves down there, under the ground. They probably intended to find a cure for their children and hoped to return in time, but it never happened. Instead, the World Wound's terrible legacy was passed down from generation to generation. Mongrel parents can only guess what their child will look like. Each of us is born with a new mutation. Many mutations are fatal. Lann stops, then goes on quietly. Down in the caves, we usually don't congratulate the family for the birth of a child until they turn at least 3. Most don't even get a name before that. There's no point. It hasn't been that long since the First Crusade. Why do you know so little about your ancestors? Our lives are much shorter than most Uplanders. Up here, only a few generations have passed, and many still live who remember old Sarkoris as it stood untouched by the demons. Queen Galfrey, for example. But where we live, mongrels start getting old much earlier than humans, much faster, and with more devastating consequences. Few live past 40, and fewer still live long enough to die of old age. Hunger, disease, and monsters from the deep are more effective killers than time. So for us, the story of the First Crusade is a legend that happened generations ago. There are no living witnesses. We have a tale of the wise and great ancestors who left us to stand guard in the catacombs, but in reality, I suspect they were desperate wretches who couldn't figure out how to dispel the demonic plague, and who were abandoned by their own kind. Do you have any way to tell day and night? You can't see the sun in your caves. Every mongrel settlement has a big gong, which we treat like a relic. The gong keeper hits it twice a day to mark the beginning and the end. But this custom doesn't keep time very precisely. Every mongrel child has snuck up to the gong to strike it at the wrong time at least once. Just out of pure mischief, nothing could keep me away from it, not even the fact that I only had one ear, which means it would take double the punishment once I was caught. So sometimes the wrong strikes get mixed in with the right ones, and the tribe can find itself jumping up to greet the morning in the middle of the night. Do mongrel tribes fight each other? There were some skirmishes, and I've been forced to kill my kingfolk before too, Lann speaks in a steady voice. Fights more often break over food. We have laws in the caves, written and unwritten rules that we follow. We respect one another's right to live, but hunger can push a person over the edge. I've never, and you can count on that, stolen someone else's kill. But I can understand those of my kin who've tried. To hear your kids begging for food and not be able to feed them is terrifying. He frowns and goes silent. You're the only member of the Neathholm tribe to call your people mongrels. Why is that? Because of all of Galarian calls us that? I don't see the point of all this hemming and hawing over what we're called. Anyone who finds it offensive or takes issue with it can lead the charge against the name. No one's stopping them. But personally, I'm not going to pick a fight over something as unimportant as a name. Thank you. It's nice to know my ramblings seem useful to somebody. What do you think of life on the surface? It must be very different from life underground. Of course, as far as living conditions, the surface is definitely a better place to be. It's easier to get good food and water, not to mention build a house and even grow a few things. In older, well-established settlements, you don't have to deal with anything scarier than rats or maybe foxes stealing chickens. As for the kinds of lives you have, I heard a story about a demon worshipper abducting a whole family and sacrificing them one by one while the others watched. But there were some brave crusader knights nearby and they killed the villains and saved everyone. And I heard another story. A young blacksmith lost his arm in a fire, couldn't work to feed his wife and baby. They tried their best and lived from hand to mouth, but they were still destitute. In the end, the desperate blacksmith robbed a traveler one night on the road, but there were some brave crusader knights nearby and they caught the robber and threw him in prison. Not long after, his wife smothered their baby and hanged herself. Up here, the same person can proudly say he's protecting the innocent from demons and then look the other way while the same innocent starves just because they were born into a poor family. Queen Galfrey prolongs her life with sun orchid elixirs that cost enough to feed an entire city. Back in our caves, everyone is equally poor, and if one person starves, the whole tribe starves. We don't abandon our own in times of trouble. That's the power of a tribe. The laws of the surface are made so that some get everything and others get nothing. I might just be a naive fool from the caves, but I don't understand how it's possible to have so much more and share so much less. Anyway, look who I'm talking to. You must know life on the surface much better than I do. I'd never leave a needy person in trouble. I've been given more than most, which means I am now more able to help others. Yeah, I'm going to go with that one. A fitting reply. Don't take my words as reproach. I like grumbling as much as cracking jokes. Lann is obviously trying to muster a friendly smile, but it's an expression his face doesn't accommodate very naturally. You said you were prepared to risk your life to do something meaningful. What exactly do you mean? To invent a new salad and have it named after me, Lann remarks grimly. Then he sighs. Truth be told, I don't know. It would be much easier if all I really wanted was to kill demons, then a few more demons, then more demons after that. Good honest rage and no needless brooding. I think I actually envy the warriors who can live like that. But I can't. If life's taught me anything, it's that there are no easy choices. Dying a glorious death isn't enough. Some heroes of the Crusade did that and also saved entire settlements, erected the ward stones. Their actions kept the lands of Mended safe for decades. That's what I want, for my dumb short life to have meant something. You think I have an exaggerated opinion of myself? Some scaly freak crawls out of the caves and wants to take control of the wardstones and flaunt Iomede's banner. Any fool can charge at the front lines of the demonic armies and die there. But what good will that do? I want something meaningful, you know? Even if I have to pay the highest price, especially if I have to pay it. There are plenty of worthier people who need to survive this war and tell everyone else the nutcases we were. And that's Lann's story. And we are at an hour and 30, so I do think I'm going to end the episode there. So thank you all so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please hit that like button. Thank you very much. If you have any questions or comments, please lay them on me. I'd love to hear from you. If you'd like to support me, consider joining my Discord or look at my fanfic or follow me on Blue Sky or Tumblr. Links are down in the description below. And if you want to see more, subscribe, and I promise you will see more. And I'll catch you in the next video. Later.